welcome back to RATG, Ryan's All Things Geek, right here on 103.7 FM, Brock University Radio. Or you can be listening to us live online at CFBU.ca. All Things Geek. All Things Geek. All Things Geek. All Things Geek. All Things Geek.
Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
All right, welcome back to another edition of RATG Radio right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU, Brock University Radio. Or you're listening live online anywhere in the world at CFBU.ca. That's right, folks. We are online, and we do take your orders. I'm your host, as I am every week. I put the Ryan and Ryan's All Things Geek. I'm Ryan Fleming. I'm sitting here with my co-host, as I do from week to week, the one, the only, Welland winning nut himself, Mr. Stephen Lambert.
What's going on, man?
Not too much, brother. You?
Not much.
Another fine day in the hood. We got a very dead feeling show today. A very creepy show today.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, before we get to that, I did want to ask you, just for the fans and everything, what did you think of Sir Paul McCartney last week?
The guy he doesn't age. He was just a big kid on stage, man. He played for almost 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
41 song set. I mean, I don't even think I've seen him stop to take a drink of water.
Wow. So he's still rocking it.
He is very much rocking.
There is a reason why he is the greatest Beatle. Well, I guess there's an argument to be said for that. I was more of
the greatest living Beatle.
Well, the competition isn't all that stiff when it's you and Ringo.
Poor Ringo.
Poor Ringo, nothing. Poor Pete Best. That's who I say poor to anybody, you know. So, yeah, that's awesome. So we did mention that this is a bit of a dead show today because, you know, tomorrow happens to be the 5th annual Welland Zombie Walk.
Yay!
And you can hear by the voice right there, we are speaking with the one, the only Mr. James Takeo. The doctor is in the house.
I was going to say, I used to be a doctor. What happened, man? I got downgraded here or what?
You're still the doctor for us, brother. You're still the doctor here. So how's things going?
In general or with the zombie walk?
Well, in general. We'll get into the zombie walk right after that.
In general, doing okay. Just skipped out of work from around the corner over at... or should I just wait till we talk about that?
No, you can mention your work.
Okay, shameless plug for Picture Me Perfect Tattoo at 45 James Street, St. Catharines. I just come from around the corner from work, just to come in here and be here for this show today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in, brother. I appreciate it. And, you know, if you need to get any tattoos done, go over and see James. You know where it is now. There's no excuse not to go. Oh, I wasn't really looking at anybody in particular. That was me staring off into space.
I am.
It happens. It happens. So we're going to talk today about the 5th annual Welland Zombie Walk. We're also going to talk about what fans' favorite zombie movies are. There's been so many zombie movies. Like the zombie genre's been out since what, the 50s?
Well, if you want to get technical, White Zombie, 1932.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's where Rob got the inspiration for the name. The movie itself was starred Bela Lugosi from Dracula fame, of course. The movie took place in Haiti. It was more of a voodoo type zombie,
right.
more like just a mindless, brainless.
Just the original zombies.
Yeah, they weren't quite flesh or brain eaters yet.
Which is interesting because if you think about it, we wouldn't see anything mentioned for the Haiti voodoo zombies again in film until maybe Serpent in the Rainbow?
Serpent in the Rainbow, yeah, which was a crazy movie. Have we ever seen Bill Pullman do anything like that since? Like anything that intense?
Spaceballs?
Lone Star. No. The answer is no. You're killing me here, kids. You are killing me.
I loved him in Saw. Oh, wait, that wasn't Bill Pullman.
Was he in Saw? You know, I don't know. Just wrong.
What's his name? I can never say that guy's last name. He was in The Princess Bride.
Carrie Elwes.
Elwes.
I believe it's Elwes. That's the way I always pronounce it. And obviously, I'm the one that's the best at saying people's names here on the show. I never screw that up. So, right.
You better
I
knock
was
on
going to
wood when
vouch
you
for
say
that, but no.
He's like, I'm not lying for you. I am not lying for you. But yeah, so as we said, we are going to be talking a lot about the zombie genre today, all things included with it. And then, of course, as we do every week, we're going to do our This Week in Geek, which we're going to get started pretty soon. Just want to ask James himself if you've got anything going on right now or any pages that you'd like to promote.
Any pages I'd like to promote other than Welland Zombie Walk, which we do have. Is that a page? Is that a group?
We have a group and we have an event page. So go to Facebook, Welland Zombie Walk.
Other than that, I'm always happy to promote anything and all things Welland, as you guys know. I'm very proud resident of the Rose City, so anything to do with that city, I'm always up for promoting.
Nice. Which is good. It does need some promotions going on there, especially as of late. Although it has been on the move lately. You know, they've tried some things out there. You know, some may not have turned out the greatest. You know, like the Pan Am Games and things like that. But
what?
Exactly.
Never heard of them.
Exactly. But yeah, no. So yeah, well, go out and support Welland, folks. And support St. Catharines. Support your local city because
Support Niagara.
Yes.
There you go. The GNA, the Greater Niagara Area. It's time. It is time. So we are going to get to a little favorite of our fans here. And I mean a little favorite. And that is This Week in Geek.
Do you mean little, like twig size?
Like twig, as in the anagram for This Week in Geek. I see what you did there. I clearly see what you did there.
Well, you guys can see it, but everybody on radio can't.
No, well, neither could Stevie.
I forgot. Was this a new thing that we're doing now, or?
That was last week. Okay, Steve has put his sunglasses on. I had my sunglasses on last week because the light was hurting me because I spent Friday night with you two celebrating my birthday.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Your
right.
birthday
So
Friday night.
the next day was a little rough, and yes, there might have been a couple jokes that probably should have been said on air as well. It does happen. But let's get to Twig and This Week in Geek. Steve, you got a story to start us off with?
Well, you know what? I didn't exactly have this in my Twig notes, but I don't think it's something we've talked about since the premiere started. The Walking Dead.
Right. You know what? I was hoping to do some Walking Dead talk today too, especially seeing though my favorite character is just becoming more BA by the week. I'm sorry. I know people say if Daryl dies, they're going to strike. But if Carol dies, I'm rioting. Like, I mean, I will never watch the show again if Carol dies. Because Carol is the best part of that show for me, bar none. Bar none.
So you're referring to Masked Wolf?
Yeah.
Carol?
She was awesome.
Painting the W on her head.
And just the best scene from last week was none of the killing, none of that stuff, none of her talking down to Pete's kid or anything like that. It was at the very end after she had destroyed all the invaders, killed them all. And then she walks out, and as she's walking up to, what's his name with the bow staff?
Oh, Morgan.
Morgan, who's quite the pacifist. And she just walks past him. She doesn't even look at him, doesn't lift her head or anything. And you can tell he's dejected. I think he's ready to leave Alexandria because he knows that town is just a violent town.
Yeah, he's not about the killing.
No, and which is strange because, that's all that environment is. That world is all
Do you think
violence.
that is going to come back to bite him, letting those guys get away? You seen the one guy, he picked up the pistol as he ran off? And
yeah, I was wondering, the last guy he ran into, at first I thought was going to be Jesus. Until Carol killed him. But it looked just like him, the long hair.
I love that. Yeah, he's sitting there wrapping this guy up with freaking zip ties, and Carol just comes along and pop.
Yeah, like nothing. Yeah, Carol's a BA. And that's all I got to say about that. So, what's your story with the Walking Dead there?
Nothing. I just I really wanted to mention it and ask what you thought about the first couple episodes.
You know what? I thought that this was going to be the year that The Walking Dead was going to turn me off. I thought this was going to be the year that I stopped watching it just because last year was a pretty decent season. And there hasn't been many in the last, like, what is it, 6 seasons long?
6 seasons.
And I think we've had maybe 3 really solid seasons. And they've been so sporadic. I was just like, oh, I don't know. If we get another slow season, I don't think I can make it. But these first 3 episodes have been really good.
I think we've seen more zombies in that first episode than we've seen in the entire series.
Yeah.
Down in that
I think
quarry.
they're listening to the fans, though. I think a lot of that is the fans, because the fans have complained that there's not enough violence. There's not enough action, because we are so bloodthirsty as people.
Too much soap opera and character development as opposed to straight up action that people, well, think about it initially, as great of a story as it is. That is why people started watching it, right?
Yeah, we're there for the violence. We're there for the death, the mayhem, and the destruction. Don't ask me how I went all evil there. Destruction. I'm working on a new accent, obviously.
Destruction.
Destruction.
Da,
tavarish. This is my black Russian.
He dies.
If he dies, he dies. I love it. Hey, just a quick shout out, just to let everybody know, we will have a new segment coming out next week for everybody. We're not going to debut it this week. It's going to be next week. Get yourself ready because we're going to have prizes for everybody. Oh yes, and it's because I've garnered so much attention and so much praise for how great my impersonations are. I decided it's time for us to do something with that. So next week is going to start a new segment called Ryan's Ripoffs. So what we'll do is we're going to take famous movies and we're going to take very obscure lines from the movies. So lines that people don't really know. And I am going to try to say them my best as the character from the movie. And the first person to text in within the area will get the prize, because you'll have to still be able to come here to pick up the prize. Yeah, and obviously,
sorry, Stephen, Daniel.
Sorry.
All our listeners from abroad.
Yeah, sorry. And to whoever our one fan in Morocco is, I don't know who you are, but thank you so much.
You have a fan in Morocco?
We have a fan in Morocco. When we were checking our analytics for the page to see how where we're making our money and stuff, it said we had one viewer from Morocco.
Hey, man, you've gone international.
That's it. You know what? We have, what is it, Kuala Lumpur. There's one girl that listens from there as well, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head because it's not easy to pronounce. But it kills me when we look at our fans. And yeah, we have a lot of fans in the Niagara region. Most of them are friends and family, which is understandable. And then we've got some more throughout Canada. Like Canada was number 1 for our listeners. And then the States, we had a lot of people. But man, just like the UK, Scotland, Ireland, like it's crazy to me, like, 1, how did they hear about us? 2, you listened to us once and you decide to do it again. Got to be good drugs over there. No, I play. Let's move on to our next story, though. Famous DC artist Murphy Anderson unfortunately passed away this week, age 89. Natural causes. He lived a long, good life. I believe he was the creator of Zatanna. Great artist. He was one of those artists. He was credited with. So the 2 main comic book characters at DC obviously are Superman and Batman. Mm-hmm. So when artists come along and they draw those 2, those are the 2 that the company has always been the pickiest about with your art. Murphy Anderson has been credited as one of those guys that they've never ever had a problem with him. Anytime they ask him to come on and do Batman or Superman, they know they're getting a good job done. So I think that just speaks well to his career. He's a little more of a freelance artist, but freelance artists sometimes are a little more fun. But our condolences go out to his family and his friends, and Steve's here, so of course we had to mention someone passing away. So it only seems to happen when Steve is here.
I was going to mention the actress from, I believe it was A Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
That passed away too, but I didn't want to go there because I knew you were going to blame it on me.
At this point, I don't. At this point, I don't have to blame it on you. I think all our fans know it's because of you.
Way to go, Steve.
Way to go, Steve. Way to go, indeed.
I have too much free time on my hands.
You definitely
And
do.
a lot of air miles.
I have got nothing for that. Absolutely nothing for that. What else you got this week for us, brother?
Well, you know what? The only other thing I have in my stories this week, I think, to me, is the only thing that happened this week, and that is Star Wars.
The newest trailer dropped. Wow. There's a few things I'd like to touch on. Not just about the trailer, but just the Star Wars, The Force Awakens itself. There's this group going around boycotting Star Wars, The Force Awakens because there are too many black characters in the movie, they say. Supposedly someone even committed suicide over this. What in the world is going on with people?
I don't even know how to respond to that nicely that's radio friendly.
No, I don't know how to respond to that nicely that's, in person, non-friendly. To me, it's shocking that we still feel this way. It almost seems like it's gotten worse since Obama's become president. And I'm not trying to put it on anything. It's just, my God, aren't we past this yet? Aren't we past? When people look at this YouTube video, you're gonna see a Japanese guy, a black guy, and a white guy, a ginger white guy. So I don't know. We need to be past this. It's sad that this is a story. And a couple things I'd like to point out to these people. One, George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, his wife is black. Mm-hmm. Lando Calrissian, just saying. There have been black people associated with Star Wars since the beginning. There's been people of mixed race since the beginning. This is...
Jar Jar Binks.
No! Just no!
I was waiting for that. Somehow I just...
Gungans are people too.
No, Gungans are Gungans.
Oh.
People are people.
Touche.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it's honestly, and I'll get off the soapbox right with this one. It is honestly time to give up the hate. We are so past this. It's time to, move on to the next stage. Move on to the next thing you're going to hate on. Because we're people, we seem to have something to hate on. Move on to the next thing to hate on, okay? We're past that, okay? Or here's something new. Just try to just be happy with yourself and not worry about everybody else.
That's where it starts.
You know what? For all these people that may be wanting to boycott this film or whatever, yeah, they're going to boycott it forever. Sooner or later they're going to watch it anyway. So you know what?
Of course.
I wouldn't take that boycott too seriously. It's obviously it's a little bit disturbing and probably infuriating to some, but you know what? They're going to end up watching the movie sooner or later anyhow.
Sure they will.
I mean, people are expecting this movie to smash absolutely every record. It already beat the first day ticket sales record by 8 times.
That is crazy. What are you thinking? 2 billion?
I'm thinking
opening
2 billion,
weekend.
yeah.
Opening weekend, 2 billion. I don't think it's impossible for them to crack 2 billion on opening weekend.
A couple footnotes here: 112 million views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, they broke the internet.
Yep.
Resale tickets for the opening viewings of this movie are going for up to $10,000. Mm-hmm. If someone is willing to give me $10,000 for my tickets for opening night, I will take it. I can wait till the next day to see it.
Well, you know what? This movie.
You'll have to take my son though.
This
I'm
will
only
move.
selling one.
Well, then see all these people boycotting this movie. They're just making more room for other people that want to go see it.
Exactly. And you know what? When it comes to things like you said, you're going to sell your ticket. I don't have a problem with that. You know why? Because our next piece of news just came in. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is going to be on Netflix within, I think it was 18 months, they said, of it being released in the theater.
Reading about that
Netflix
today.
Canada only. The only region on Netflix that's getting it will be Netflix Canada. Oh, Canada, eh? So, you know what? We can miss it and watch it from the comfort of our own homes,
Now, what do you think was the reasoning behind that?
Well, I know the reason why the States didn't get that is because it's a
deal with
Disney deal with Stars.
Stars, yeah.
Because Stars is owned by Disney, and Stars just broke their deal with U.S. Netflix. So that's why none of the Star Wars stuff will be on the American Netflix. Why it's not on any of the other ones throughout the world beats me. But hey, as a Canadian, I'm happy with this, eh?
Proud to be Canadian, eh?
You got it, eh?
I just ate
Why is
poutine.
it? Why is it that when people do Canadian accents, they always go to Fargo? They always do the Fargo. Oh yeah, sure, you betcha. Oh yeah, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Could it be Bob and Doug? Bob and Doug weren't too far off from that. Nah, they were East Coast.
I think out east, people kind of sound. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up next to some people from Newfoundland growing up, and it took me probably about good solid 3 years to be able to understand my friend's grandfather when he had moved straight from Newfoundland.
Lord Thunder and Jesus.
Lord Thunder and Jesus.
Great people, though.
Oh, for sure, for
Absolutely
sure.
the
Some of the
nicest
best
people.
people to hang out with. You know what though? I find that with anybody. Honestly, doesn't matter. Listen to us doing our zombie show and talking about everything else, but I find everywhere in the world we get along with everybody. You know, it doesn't matter who you are or where you might be. You know. People are just cool, you know. As long as you give them the benefit of the doubt and you care as much as they care, there shouldn't be any problems whatsoever. That being said, Star Wars on Netflix,
Yes.
awesome. So, last piece of news I'd like to get to. Back to the Future Day has come and passed. October 21st. Now when we watch Back to the Future 2, we're watching a movie about the past as opposed to a movie about the future. Cool thing that I found. Lexus came out with a hoverboard a couple months ago, which totally functional. Nike, on the 21st, on Back to the Future Day, released their self-tying laces. The first person to get to use them was Michael J. Fox. He tried them live. Which was
Jimmy Kimmel.
which was really, really cool. And then Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd on Kimmel was just awesome.
That was awesome.
So good to Michael J. Fox is looking a little rough, though. A little rough.
A little rough.
Which is understandable, you know. He's
I didn't think he looked that bad.
well, no, like I understand he's got Parkinson's and stuff, and I'm sorry that kind of sounded a little rude. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, he just he did. He kind of looked like he was having a rough day, you know. And I'm hoping that he's not degressing is all. But it was great to see the two of them.
Did you happen to see the tweet that Will Wheaton had put out about Marty and Doc coexisting with the Marty and Doc from the future, and that probably wouldn't be possible because then there'd be a paradox?
You really went there, didn't you? You really went there. Wow. Well, on that note, I think it's a great time for us to take our first commercial break of the day. Just want to remind everybody that you are listening to the RATG radio show right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU, Brock University Radio, or you're listening live online anywhere in the world at CFBU.ca. That's right, folks. We are online, and don't forget to look us up on our Facebook page, Ryan's All Things Geek, or you can join our group, the RATG Radio Group, as most people do. And then, of course, don't forget to find our YouTube page, RATG Video. RATG. Just RATG at YouTube.
RATG Video.
Or you could even look up Zeus RATG.
Yeah, not Ratchy.
No.
Rat-G.
Our Rat G. He's a G. Rat.
The OG.
He is the OG. Well, speaking of animals, for anybody in the market for a cat, anything like that, we were at the Seaway Mall today, and we were by the Cat Adoption Center at the Seaway Mall, where they're always seeking volunteers. You've got to be at least 18 years old. There is a black cat there named Laurel. Just looking for a new home. Laurel doesn't have much time left. Beautiful, beautiful cat. So if you can, folks, go on down to the Seaway Mall. These are very affectionate cats. Just need someone who's going to give her some time. Yeah, and she's 2.5 years old. She's already been spayed. She's domestic, short hair, brown tabby. Vaccines are up to date. So
Male preferably.
say again?
A male preferably.
Yeah, for some reason, Laurel seems to only get along with men, or gets along better with men, and than she does with women and children. But just putting that out there for you, and it's always good to go out there and just see what you can do to help out. So with that, folks, we're gonna hit our next commercial break, and we will see you after that. All right, welcome back to the RATG Radio Show right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU Brock University Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Fleming, and I'm sitting here as I do every week from week to week with my co-host, Stephen Lambert.
Except for when I'm off for concerts.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, don't worry, I don't have any more left this year. So
This year. And we also have our guest co-host, or our special guest this week, the doctor himself, James Takeo.
Hi.
Hi there. How are you? How you doing?
How are you?
And the reason why I have James in this week, not only for his vast knowledge of all things, everything, but you are co-founder with my partner here of the Welland Zombie Walk.
Yes, I believe we are.
Which is coming up next week. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Brain
well, the week
fart.
starts on Sunday, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why you're my co-host.
Nice save. Nicely saved.
Nice save, indeed. So, James, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Welland Zombie Walk, how it got started, what's going on with it, donations, things like that.
Okay, how about we just talk about, first off, we'll talk about this year's Zombie Walk. This is the 5th annual Welland Zombie Walk being held in downtown Welland. We're asking all participants and anyone just coming out to just to check it out. We'll be gathering at the downtown Welland bus terminal at 6:30 p.m. The walk will be commencing at 7 p.m., going down East Main Street, King Street, Division Street, back up Helms, returning to the bus terminal. At that time, we will be handing out numerous prizes from many local business sponsors for some of the best costumes in 4 different categories. Best child, teen, adult, and family. And I won't do all the talking about it. I'll hand Steve over.
Yeah, over $2,000 in prizes this year, more than double what we had last year. Local businesses really stepped up this year for us.
Nice.
We're asking people to bring a non-perishable people or pet food item for our charities, the Welland Humane Society and the Hope Center. We have 180 treat bags for the kids, so first 180 kids under the age of 12 years old can receive a free treat bag.
That's awesome.
So
Cool.
it'll be fun times.
And didn't Captain Canuck himself, Richard Comley?
Richard Comley did. He donated a whack of stuff to us last week. We kept some for the RATG Radio Show. We also included some in the Children Under 12 prizes. So there'll be plenty of autographed comic books, DVDs, activity books, all kinds of great stuff.
Awesome. All this stuff that I didn't even get. So this is great. So this is the 5th year for you guys. What are some of the obstacles that you guys come across with trying to pull off an event like this? Like I understand. Like
What an interesting and thought-provoking question, because now we actually got to think about this. What kind of obstacles really have we faced?
Yeah, because I know you guys have every year. It's a bit of a issue to try to get as many volunteers on. I know you did this year. You got a lot.
We always make out all right, so I don't think it's been a huge issue. But yeah, volunteers are a great part, or a hard, part about any event, getting people to come out, and everybody wants to participate, and I get that. But in order to put these events on, we definitely do need volunteers.
Right.
We try to get different people every year, so that people that volunteered last year can participate this year.
Exactly, without having to just sit in the background sort of thing.
So
nice. Now, what about the route this year?
The route is slightly changed this year. Unfortunately, there's some construction going on the.
It would be on
west side of the bridge.
It would be on the. Yeah, there's construction on the north. No, sorry. The southwest corner of Main Street, West and Niagara Street, Division Street, that intersection. So there's been a little bit of the sidewalk has been blocked off due to some construction. So we kind of, myself and a bunch of volunteers, we made the decision to kind of to change the route slightly just to keep all the little zombies very safe.
Nice.
So.
And that's the important part anyways, right?
So safety is definitely a top priority for us. We will have crossing guards at every intersection with zombie crossing signs, vests, pylons. So we ask everybody that's coming down to please obey all traffic signals. Watch for the volunteers and before you step out into an intersection. Don't touch any property or people, or just come out and have some fun and do your best zombie impression or zombie walk. Or
did I hear someone say impressions?
Yes,
are you gonna grace us with your best zombie impression?
Are you ready for this?
Okay,
ready.
wait. I'm ready.
That's it. It was pretty good though, right?
To me, that sounded like a zombie stomach.
Zombie stomach.
Zombie stomach rumbling for brains.
I was building up to it. That was just that was a relaxing zombie. Someone just went by and I caught the whiff of brains. So I was like,
that was Al Zombie.
Yeah.
Sitting down to watch some Psycho Dad.
Psycho Dad. That's right. Nothing better than a Married with Children reference for our millennial listeners. Bottom of the hour. I just want to remind everybody you are listening to the RATG radio show right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU. Or you can be listening live online at CFBU.ca. That's right, folks. We are online all over the world, to Le Monde. That's right.
Including Morocco.
And Kuala Lumpur.
We love you, whoever you are watching in Morocco.
That's right. We love you, who's ever listening and watching anywhere in the world. And Morocco, you're cool just because, there was a wrestler, Don the Rock, Morocco. And he was pretty awesome. I'm sorry. When I hear Morocco, that's the first thing I think of is Don the Rock. Because I'm obviously that cool. It's just also to remind everybody, if you want to follow along, you can join our Facebook page at Ryan's All Things Geek on Facebook. If you want to join the conversation with the radio group, we have a radio group as well. It's the RATG radio group, RATG radio. And don't forget, we are on YouTube as well, RATG on YouTube. Or you can find us on Twitter. That's where you'll find us at Zeus, RATG, Zeus RATG.
Zeus RATG. I'm going to have to add that to Twitter.
Yeah.
Follow it, I should say.
Yeah, well, for as much as I tweet. I'm more of a twit than a tweeter. That's right, what I said. So yeah, we've got the Welland Zombie Walk coming up tomorrow. What are we expecting for crowds tomorrow?
Well, I think we've had a pretty steady crowd the last 2 years. I guess three plus maybe.
Somewhere around. We've always been somewhere either over or under the 300 mark. Last year, I think it's pretty safe to assume that we were 300 to 350. I really, really, really have a feeling it's going to be at least that amount this year, because notably there has been a lot of support. I know me and Steve have talked in the past about how every year there seems to be some sort of improvement. I think this year, the one thing I noticed, the city of Welland themselves, downtown BIA, has really gotten on board about promoting this. I believe the mayor himself is actually
the mayor
showing
has
out.
tweeted.
The actual mayor, not the zombie mayor, will actually be in.
So we're gonna have the zombie mayor and you. I'm sorry, Frank.
Actually, this year, you know what? I think for the first time ever, I've decided I'm not going to be donning the zombie gear. You know why? Because it's 5 years in. I kind of want to actually watch it. I kind of want to actually, you know what I'm saying?
I have a great time watching it, honestly. I have a great time watching it like I did last year, and just kind of videotaping for you guys last year. It was...
That's kind of what I want to do this year. I kind of, you know what, for the first time, I kind of want to sit back and actually see it myself instead of afterwards see the videos and the photos.
Exactly.
And okay, that's what it actually looked like, right?
Yeah. I guess my shaky cam didn't help too
We'll
well.
also be getting a little help as per the bridge will be lit up for us in a special purple and green.
purple and green.
Purple
Is
and
that the zombie colors? Is that like the
it's,
de facto
Yeah,
zombie
bruising,
flag?
rotting, fussy.
Yes, I've heard it's supposed to cycle.
Zombie
It's
flesh.
supposed to cycle through those two colors. So
Well, hey, all right. Well, go Vikings. Hey, I'll take any opportunity I can to get
The
my
Vikings
Vikings.
aren't looking so bad this year.
No, you know what? Not to go all sports on everybody, but as I tell everybody on the page, because I do get in trouble from time to time from my geek fans because I'll post sports related stuff. Anything that you are passionate about, you can geek out to.
Sports, I think, is one of the geekiest things you
Exactly.
can be
There's
obsessed with.
fantasy football, fantasy hockey, fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball. You know,
The fantasy that the Leafs might win a cup.
that's an illusion. That's just an illusion. No. I don't even know where to go with that one. Go Sabres. Yeah. I am looking forward
I'm
to
thinking
it.
you guys got the better of the deal so far. Jack Eichel, he's looking good.
Yeah, he is, but Connor McDavid's been scoring a lot lately. And he's making, what's his name, look good, too. The Russian kid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Starts with a Y. But yeah, not to go all sports and everybody there, but I still would have taken McDavid in a heartbeat. I love Eichel. Eichel's looking great. He looks like he's going to be a true leader. So I'm happy with that. The one thing that I do worry about sometimes is he looks like he skates a little too hard. So then he's out there skating like a zombie. Hey, see what I did there?
I
See
heard what you did there.
See, yeah, all right. No, yeah. So we've got the zombie walk coming up tomorrow. What is the end game? How far does this go? Does this expand? Does this grow? Or does this just kind of stay at the grassroots? Because it seems to almost have there's more of an affinity for it because it is kind of that grassroots and it's got that town feel to it.
I think that's actually, I was kind of touching on that when I said, like, how City Hall and downtown BIA have been very supportive and really trying to promote this. Don't quote me on it. I can't say for sure, but I just got a feeling. I have a feeling probably next year we're really going to see them step up and truly support it, not just say, hey, look what's happening here.
Well, let's hope so.
Rita's close the bridge. Close the bridge for an hour.
But could they use? And I don't understand why they don't, anyways. Because
it costs $800
per hour or just for the night.
for the evening. It's a little piece of information that I just received recently. Why would somebody be telling me that sort of information if it wasn't being considered? Just saying.
Now that I know this, I may be throwing my birthday party on the bridge.
Now that I say this, I
$800 isn't that much to close down the bridge and have a bridge party. Just saying.
Yeah, now when you got the YouTube money that we got, man.
Well, hey, you're on to something there. That's right. RATG party on the bridge. Well, let's get into, because we got a lot of answers from the fans here. And you two are more of the zombie gurus than I am. So a lot of these movies I'm not going to know of. So I'm going to defer to you guys for your expertise on a lot of these. I'm going to get the first couple, and then we're going to get to our last break of the day. And then we'll finish everything up from there. How's that sounding to everybody? All right?
Yeah.
That's fine by me.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so we got some answers from the RATG group first and foremost. The first answer came from Daniel Van Desant in Australia, but I'm going to wait till second because I don't want Alan McGuire to get upset because we missed him last week. I do apologize, Alan. So I am getting to you first this time, brother. He says brain dead, which our camera woman today, Kiara, also agrees with. He says, remember watching it with his brother way back closer to when it came out. And the scene where he first busts out with the lawnmower, it has been 2 decades, yet he still remembers it now. That is a sign of a good movie. And he's right. If you remember a scene from 20 years plus back, I don't know if that means it's a good movie, but it's a memorable movie for
Definitely.
sure. And Kira wholeheartedly agrees with you on that one as well. Alan also said he goes with the typical Shaun of the Dead. I love Shaun of the Dead. I really
still
did.
continue to watch
Yeah.
it.
and like he says, he makes a great point. He loves that it's comedic yet still preserves the trueness to the genre of zombies. Zombies are slow and lumbering. To hell with the rage zombies. World War Z.
You know what? It's interesting he mentions that, because if you were to ask me, probably one of my more favorite zombie movies is these days, I would have said Juan of the Dead. If you have not seen it,
no.
I suggest you do. Very along the same lines of Shaun of the Dead, Spanish language, done in Cuba.
Oh, nice.
So same kind of deal. The comedic end of the zombie movie. Trust me.
So it's like Tony Montana, zombie style.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Except for they do an actual Cuban accent.
Exactly.
Because, honestly, Al Pacino's Cuban accent was as good as my Australian.
So, I mean, speaking of comedic takes on the whole zombie genre in movies, I guess would have Return of the Living Dead, I believe it was 86, would that have been the first campy kind of telling of the whole zombie genre?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't really think of anything before
and
that.
That was the first...
Well, I don't know if they were zombies, but what about like the Toxic Avenger movies and Nukem High and stuff like that? Were they zombies in the movie though, or were they just mutants?
I don't really remember.
I'd say that
They were
was
more mutants, yeah.
Zombies.
But Return of the Living Dead from the 80s, of course, the whole campy, special effects eras of great horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first zombie movie accredited with zombies specifically after brains.
Right, that's right. Because before that, they were just
They were just
flesh
They were
eaters.
just flesh eating,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Like people in Florida on bath salts. Too soon? So thanks, Alan, for those, buddy. I appreciate them. Daniel, you're waiting one more. Kurt Jr., another longtime subscriber to the page, listens to our show every week. I can never say thanks enough to Kurt, because Kurt's been there since the very beginning. I think Kurt actually used to listen to our podcast we used to do at the BLX studio with James. Kurt says the original Night of the Living Dead for him. The latest Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, just hilarious to him. Land of the Dead, Zombies Unite, and Resident Evil franchise. For TV show, obviously, The Walking Dead. It's got a lot of picks in there. That original Night of the Living Dead, though.
It still holds up for me today. Yeah, even the 1990 remake that was, I think it was pretty much like cut for cut.
Was that Ving
Yeah,
Rhames?
pretty much.
Was that Ving Rhames?
No, Ving Rhames was in the Dawn of the Dead remake,
Yes,
which would have been early 2000s.
Right, okay.
I think that was kind of the first time we seen fast zombies.
What, prior to World War Z?
Well, it would have been before World War Z, yeah. So I'm still not sure how I feel about the fast zombies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, but it's a make-believe character, zombies, right? So
Actually,
it's up to the writer.
Actually, truth be told, I don't mind some of these movies where we're seeing that fast zombie. It does set a pace for movies. It definitely puts you a little bit more on the edge of your seat. Like when you're watching a zombie movie, we're so used to something slow and lumbering, and you know what? There's that tension build up. Based on the
there's
story.
Not running through the woods away from him, and then you have to stop and go,
Where's he come? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how fast you run. Michael Myers walks faster.
Yeah, no doubt.
With that, we're just going to take our last break of the day. I just want to remind everybody you are listening to the RATG radio show right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU Brock University Radio, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at CFBU.ca. And with that, folks, we will be right back. All right, welcome back to RATG Radio right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU.ca, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at CFBU.ca. That's right, folks. Like I say, we are online for our millennial listeners. I don't know. We're just online for you online listeners.
We are online for your convenience.
I like the way you think, sir. I like the way you think. Next time I'll even make sure your mic is up for when you say that.
All right.
So, yeah. So we're talking best zombie movies of all time. We've gotten a lot of great answers. I'm going to go next to our very own RATG administrator, our encyclopedia of knowledge himself, the one, the only, Mr. Will Mahoney. I know you hate when I say that, too. I'm sorry. It just rolls off the tongue so well. Tony Todd was in the 1990 Night of the Living Dead. Huh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he was the star of the film there.
Right, okay. So now, Will, you just need to give us what your favorite zombie movie is, and we will be able to relay that to our listeners. Next, I'm going to go up to Mikhail Davis, the first Resident Evil, he says.
Oh yes, I remember.
The first one was good.
I've seen that comment on the Fascia book earlier from Mikhail Davis.
The fascist book?
Yes, the Fascia book. The Fascia book. Yes, no, I've seen that, and I've always loved the Resident Evil series of games.
The games, yeah. The movies. The first movie was all right.
Yeah,
They definitely got weird.
Yeah, to say the least.
But at least it still holds a little bit of its own, even though
The only thing I only wished is if you're going to make a movie based on a video game, have the main character be a character from the video games. Like, she's not even in any of the games, I don't think. Like, I don't even think any of the newer games. So, like, Mila's great and all, but come on, man. Could have made her anybody. Then we got a good friend of the show, Johnny Knapp. He's got a few here for us. Return of the Living Dead. Send more paramedics. And Dawn of the Dead, OG, also Day of the Dead. Some great ones there. Yeah. I think we're going to get a lot of that though. Fido was another great one. That was the one we were talking about before the show started with Billy Connolly.
Yes. Where
all the humans had zombies as pets. Anytime you have Billy Connolly in any type of movie, I'm in. I'm just in. Yeah. I love Billy Connolly. I don't care. It could be a movie about geology, and I'm in. Well, maybe not geology. Not unless, Ross is in it from Friends. I don't understand why I'm single either. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's where the cricket sounds coming. I agree.
That's where it is. Then we've got Lee Violette says he's biased to the film Survival of the Dead because he's in it.
Oh, wow.
Lee, if you're listening, did you die in the movie? Were you a zombie? If not, we will have to watch it and get back to you.
And by the way, Lee, very cool.
Yes, very cool. Yes, Lee is our version of Ricky Gervais in Extras.
Ah, okay.
Yes. He's our Canadian Extras friend.
Here's a quick question for everybody here in the room. We're here. We are discussing some of the best or more favorite zombie movies. Okay, what do you consider the worst?
The worst zombie movie.
I'm going to take heat for my answer because I know it was mentioned by a few people as one of their favorites on the page. So
yeah, what is it?
That was 28 Days Later, starring Sandra Bullock.
This is what I deal with every day, folks.
That was Sandra Bullock in 28 Days Later, right?
No. 28 Days. She was in 28 Days Later, I think, but wasn't it 28 Days? I don't. Now you've got me confused.
We're off the rails.
Let me just say
it only took 46 minutes.
I know. We're behind the cue ball today. Wait, what? Yes. Don't even ask, folks. Don't even ask. I don't know what my least favorite zombie movie would be. Evil Dead 3. I know that's sacrilege, but it was so bad.
You're talking the newest one?
No.
Remake, or you're talking Army of Darkness?
Army of Darkness.
Okay.
Was that the third one?
Army of Darkness was technically the third one, yeah.
Yeah. Evil Dead was good, and then what was...
Evil Dead 2 was basically a remake of Evil Dead,
right?
But they kind of made it campy on purpose rather than people seeing it and going, man, that's campy. Like, hey, we didn't mean to make it campy.
Yeah, and see, that one I liked. The one after that, though, I was just... I understand it's sacrilege to talk smack at all about Bruce Campbell.
Evil Ash is awesome. He's worth watching it just for that.
I wonder if he's going to be in the new show, Evil Ash. That would be pretty cool.
I really hope so.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be very cool.
I'm upset I'm not going to be able to. I got to order a whole nother channel just to watch that.
I know.
I got to get on that. It's coming on next week, I believe. Yeah. I only do Pirates once a year, and we already did that a couple weeks ago, so...
Our phrasing. So what's your least favorite then, James?
It'd have to be zombie strippers because that's just confusing and mixed feelings. Like, don't put those two things that I like so much together like that. That just left me confused.
I haven't seen the movie, but there's a movie on Netflix which is gaining some cult popularity. A movie called Zombeavers. If you've never seen this movie, go to YouTube, Watch the trailer for
I
this.
have seen the trailer.
Guess what I'll be doing at work later?
Oh my lord.
After work.
Oh my lord is all I can say. Just watch it. Zombievers, folks. Let's get to the rest of these
Starring
real
Mel
quick.
Gibson.
No, that was the Beaver.
I know. I got to brush up on my.
Okay, so Mike Infantino went with 28 days and 28 weeks. See, not later. No Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
Crispin Glover. Johnny Knapp. Dead Heat with Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo. I never heard of this one, but you mentioned.
I do remember watching this. I don't know if it was a zombie movie, but it was definitely undead. And actually, a small little footnote for that movie: Vincent Price, last movie.
Yes.
Oh wow, no way.
I was actually
He played the evil.
Zombie Maker.
I guess, yeah.
And Johnny Knapp also says Night of the Creeps rocked as well. I don't know that movie at all.
I've seen that movie.
Good?
Yeah, decent movie.
Oh, nice.
Solid.
Very nice. Chad Golden chimes in. He says 28 days and weeks later, Rage Virus Go, and Pet Cemetery. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about Pet Cemetery. That little Gage, right?
Yeah.
He was a zombie. And that was creepy.
Yeah,
The first one was creepy. The second one was not.
He was chasing Herman Munster around there. and that was creepy.
Wasn't it Clancy Brown? Wasn't it Clancy Brown in Pet Cemetery?
Maybe the second one.
Oh, yeah, it was the second one he was in. He was the sheriff or whatever, yeah. And Daniel Van Desant, our Aussie buddy. Finally getting to you, brother.
Well, we got to get to him last because of the whole time zone thing, right?
Right. No. He says, World War Z, mate. I thought it was pretty good, and I am legend. Wait. All right, I'm sorry. And I am legend. For a TV show, he doesn't mind Z Nation. Well, you just lost all credibility with us, Daniel. I'm sorry. No, you know what? There's a lot of people that like Z Nation.
A lot of people like Z Nation. I got about 5 minutes into the first episode and haven't been back since.
Yeah,
I've been back since.
My son loves it.
Nice. Oh yeah, but that's understandable, right? Will Mahoney came in and he says, Shaun of the Dead, original Night of the Living Dead, and Night of the Creeps as well. I'm going to have to check out this Night of the Creeps. I've never, ever heard of it. But as everyone knows, I don't like horror movies.
Or you can just come down to the Olympia on any given night.
Boom! Welland burn.
Yep, that's a Welland burn.
That is definitely a Welland burn.
Don't go to the Olympia.
I like the Olympia, so I can say that.
Okay, then.
Those are my peeps.
Well, there's nothing but zombies in that place, too, so I can understand that. Nice. There's a couple honorable mentions I'd like to put out there. I'm very much in the minority in this, I'm sure. But I really, really enjoyed Warm Bodies.
You did?
I really did. The one where the zombie falls in love with Amber Heard and he gets his...
The way I responded, I think said it all. I was like, you did?
I haven't watched it.
It wasn't horrible. It was a comedy as well, right? It was a rom-com, a horror rom-com, I guess. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of horror to it.
It wasn't really a whole lot of...
I thought it was funny. I liked it. I like Nicholas Hoult as well as an actor. I think he's actually really, really good. Doesn't always do the best roles though. He played Beast in the he plays the new Beast in the X-Men movies. He was also in Jack and the Beanstalk with Ewan McGregor.
Kelsey Grammer will always be Beast. I'm sorry.
So that's wellandwingnut@gmail.com. You're going to send all your hate mail there.
A couple that I was surprised didn't get mentioned at all. Zombieland.
Right. Where is Zombieland, folks? And there was talk of a sequel coming out, but I think that got squashed after they came out with that horrible Zombieland TV show that lasted, 3 episodes?
Yeah.
It's just no.
And another one, too. It's a little lesser known one. I believe it's a European film, Dead Snow.
Dead Snow. Yeah, good call. Good call. That's gained quite a bit of cult status,
Yeah.
Dead Snow.
Agreed.
I won't mention what it's about just because...
It's about snow that's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm guessing not. People getting killed in the snow. Wow, I'm awesome. I should just
That was me touching my nose and pointing at Ryan.
Yes, I should be on every
people
trivia
listening.
show, or at least at the Geekery tonight for trivia night. Boom! There's a shout out to our friends. I will be there at the Geekery tonight for trivia night. Anyone that wants to come out and enjoy the fun, they have their liquor license now, and
they did, eh?
They do.
Awesome.
And
So there will be some interesting answers shouted out to
there'll be some very interesting answers shouted out, I'm sure, tonight. And the Geekery is a pretty fun place, too. If anyone hasn't been there, it's in Niagara Falls, restaurant, geek-themed. They have special nights every week where it's geek trivia or,
It's about time.
Just saying.
I will come out and say that for us all. It is about time a place like that came out.
And we're not going to mention who had that idea 2 years ago on the air, but I digress. I'm sure I was the only one ever to come up with that idea. No, but if you get a chance, come out to the Geekery tonight and enjoy a good time, good food, good people out there. So it'll be a.
They're
a
not the
blast.
same thing, right?
Good
We're
food.
talking zombies here. Good food, good people.
It depends.
Okay.
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. Why not both? Why not? I'm sorry, I'm just doing that little Dora the Explorer girl in the picture from the meme. Why not both? No? Anybody? Am I the only meme guy here?
No, but you're the only Dora guy here, I think.
I'm adorable. Adorable. That's
Map, is that a thing? I don't know, something about a map.
If you're gonna tell me you don't know Dora the Explorer and
My kids' two favorite shows, and I watched them with them religiously, were Tupi and Binu, and I absolutely hated it, but I still watched it anyways, was Caillou.
my favorite, not to get off topic.
Everybody did
Yeah,
that.
everyone's like, oh, Caillou.
Really, dude?
Anybody who's got kids, they were like, oh, not Caillou. I had a crush on the clown from the Big Comfy Couch. She was cute.
I got a friend to introduce you to.
Is she a clown too? I'm not into clowns. I was just into that clown. I just want to point out that Chad Golden, who actually showed up, met us out at the Seaway Mall today. We got to meet him and his young daughter, Claire. She was on her way out to get a new Batgirl comic book, which they posted online. Very cool. Claire said Paranorman.
Ah, yes.
Another good zombie movie, at least one I can handle. It was still a little creepy for me. And Daniel, yes, all right, I'll give you props for that. Daniel says that I cannot say he lost credibility after me saying a movie like Warm Bodies. Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. Well, folks, that does, I know, went by quick as it does every week. That does bring us to the end of our show today. RATG Radio right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU, Brock University Radio. I'd like to thank our guest today, James Takeo, the doctor.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming on and braving your cold with us today.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm just so brave.
And Steve, as always, buddy, thanks for coming on, as you are here almost every week. And then a special thanks to our camera woman today. We do not have Goldie, but we do have the one, the only Miss Kiera Cons. You'll see her on our YouTube video, I'm sure. But yeah, folks, don't forget, go out to the Welland Seaway Mall. Tomorrow, some more of the CFBU personalities will be out there. Go check out the Cat Adoption Center there. Laurel needs a home, folks. And, listen to RATG Radio every week, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. 103.7 FM, CFBU, Brock University Radio, or online at CFBU.ca. Good night now.
Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear.